Hello everyone, welcome to Complete African Football and Fine World TV. I am Imobasi Fine World.
And I'm Grace Fine World.
And together we are going to look at something very special and unique today. That is the history of African football. So we are going to look at how African football started, how it grew, and how it has become so great, and what it means to you as a fan across the African continent.
Okay.
On Facebook, we are Fine World TV. On YouTube, we are Complete African Football. So like and subscribe.
Thank you.
All right, so let's look at how football arrived in Africa.
Okay.
Football came into Africa in the late 19th and 20th century. And it was introduced by the colonialists, the traders that came from Europe and
the missionaries.
Yes.
That means missionaries, they were not just in Africa to preach the gospel. They brought other things.
They also brought football
that unite the Africa.
Yes, wow. Yes. So they brought football too. But Africans didn't just play the game.
Okay.
They loved the game. They embraced the game, and they played the game in all the communities, and in most of the communities, in marketplaces, in schools, even in churches. Okay. So that's how African loved the game.
Football was introduced.
Yes. So, but before the competition, before the regional competition, which is AFCON,
okay,
you know, the regional tournaments, you know, do you know that there was the first competition that was played in as early as 1926.
Wow.
And it was called the Gossage Cup.
Wow.
It was called as early as 1926. And that Gossage Cup was played between Uganda and Kenya.
That means only two countries.
Two countries.
Play. Wow. I'm hearing that for the first time. Please, can you throw more light to that?
Yes. That was like the first regional competition that was played in Africa. It was played in East Africa.
So you mean Uganda and Kenya were the first country that played a football match?
No, they were not the first country that played football match.
Okay.
They were the first two countries that came together and played a regional competition.
Okay.
So that is it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, so let's look at the birth of CAF and AFCON.
Okay.
In 1957, something huge happened. The Confederation of African Football, called CAF, was founded in the country of Sudan, in Khartoum, as in Khartoum in Sudan.
Okay.
So, and it was the start and the beginning of organized football competitions in Africa, or in the continent of Africa, bringing African countries together to form a federation.
Okay.
So right away.
Okay, that gave African football a shape and a name.
Yes. Okay. So right away, CAF launched the African Cup of Nations, what it is called today AFCON, and it was launched in 1957. It was the first tournament ever played, and it was played by 3 countries. And it was supposed to be played by 4 countries.
Okay.
So, and those 4 countries were Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, and South Africa. But South Africa later was, who were supposed to play, they were disqualified because of apartheid.
Please, can you just tell us about this apartheid? Because when I was a child, I used to hear apartheid. I didn't know what.
And musicians everywhere were saying apartheid, apartheid. Oh. You know, apartheid is a kind of a government policy where when one race, like in South Africa, the whites were ruling the blacks, and for black they will not go to the area of the white. They will not participate in so many things like the election, like governance and all of that. So it is called apartheid.
So now the black were like fighting for their freedom.
Yes. Okay. So that's why they disqualified South Africa from joining the first competition of AFCON.
Okay.
Good. AFCON started small, and it became big and big and big, and was celebrated all over Africa, from 3 countries to 24 countries. Today, it is celebrated everywhere. Just a few weeks ago, the last AFCON was played, and it was won. The title was won by Senegal. You miss history. So, and it's not just a game. AFCON has helped unite nations after independence, you know. when it started small, and as at then, there were so many countries in Africa that were not independent.
Okay.
Nigeria gained its independence in 1960,
1960.
and after that 1960, gradually they now joined AFCON.
Okay.
Other countries, after gaining their independence, they kept joining AFCON, and that's how AFCON grew to become 24 countries right now.
Okay. So any country that is independent, that receive their independence or have their independence, can join African Cup of Nations based on qualification.
Yes.
Okay.
So, okay, so let's look at the Africa on the world stage.
Okay.
Let's look at Africa on the world stage. Let's look at Africa also made global mark. In the FIFA World Cup, Morocco became the first nation to reach the semi-final in 2022. And that achievement was huge. It was celebrated worldwide because before then, there was no country, there was no African country that ever made up to that level, I mean that stage in the FIFA World Cup. So that was huge. And African football kept growing, the history kept growing. Countries like Senegal, Nigeria, Egypt, Algeria, and other countries, they keep growing and making history, showing the world that Africa was ready to be reckoned with.
Okay.
So let's also look at what makes African football special, because African football is not like the European football. What makes African football to be unique is actually the style. It's not just the passion, but the style, the energy, the creativity. When you look at African football, that's when you look at people like the legend like Yekini, that when they hold football, they'll be running with all amount of
energy and
then
strength.
you talk about the bull,
Daniel Mokachi,
the bull. And when you look at J.J. Okocha with his own style of football, dribbling. And there's a particular time they interviewed him, and he said he will dribble the white people to the net and come back again and dribble them before he scores. Okay. So that is the passion of African football. Legends like Samuel Eto'o, Didier Drogba, Mohamed Salah, and currently people like Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, Sadio Mane, and all of those names, they are making history. They are inspiring the next generation. They are making us proud. So that's a wrap for today on this overview of African football. And if you've learned something,
hit the like button, share with your friends, and tell us in the comment section what part of African football you like or you want us to talk about. And please, in our YouTube, we are Complete African Football, and in Facebook, we are Fine World TV. Follow us and subscribe. Thank you.
All right, so that's a wrap for today.
Thanks for watching Complete African Football and Fine World TV.
See you next time. We love you.